And we all know that 2020 is when you see clearly. And maybe with what you will hear today, it will help you overstand. And the word stand, of course, includes the letters DNA, which is a story that I'm about to tell you. A long, long time ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, a division occurred in the evolutionary line of an animal. And that division then created two significant new animals, one of which we know today as human beings. And the other one, not known to most people, but understood by scientists, the Neanderthaler. The Neanderthal animal and the human animal having had the same basic connection before the division occurred. And then the human animal continued on one path while the Neanderthaler animal went in another direction. So let me begin by saying that these two animals were not living together at the beginning, although they were living concurrently. Same general area of North Africa, some would say north of the Mediterranean and around the Mediterranean. And of course we're talking about a time prior to the last ice age. And for 84,000 years, if the scientists are correct, there were no men in the human animal. Mitochondrial DNA suggests that the original woman was a hermaphrodite. A hermaphrodite that could in fact give birth of clones of herself, and did so for a period of about 84,000 years, until at about 90,000 BC, a development came about and needed to subdivide herself into two people so that she could continue in her duties while a second version called man would be born. And that second version would be task-oriented. And that's where you began getting the division, of course, of gender and reproduction over time by sex rather than through the internal hermaphroditic way. There is little information known about the journey of the other animal called the Neanderthaler, because I believe the information is being withheld. It's not that it doesn't exist. It's just that it's being withheld and released only to certain groups of people, and the information released in a coded form to the agents of the Neanderthal. By the way, the word Neanderthaler is subdivided into two parts. Nean is the word Dean, Dino, Dina, as in Pasadena, are all names that come into play here and suggest that Neanderthaler didn't disappear forever and ever, but basically disappeared for a purpose. And the purpose can be better understood if one goes over to the other division of the word Neanderthaler. And the word Thaler is the German word for dollar. So the word Neanderthaler therefore translates to beams of dollar, not fourth fire. Fire led to cooking. In order to do the cooking, they had to come up with an invention, and that's the spear. And if one follows the code through, you would of course get to a place in our history where shaking the spear becomes important, and that leads you to the name of Will I Am Shakespeare. A book of codes that allows those in the know to access information about the past that is not discussed in normal universities, but it is discussed in specialized universities aimed at monarchs and clerics and leaders of the world, that links in the way to the future called roads, with R-H-O-D-E-S, as opposed to roads we are showing. Neanderthaler, a person linked to cooking, a person linked to weapons, a person linked to fire, is living a concurrent life to the human life that is happening in the Afar Triangle of Ethiopia. And at one stage of the game, 84,000 years after arrival of woman, the development came about, and one stage later on, the coming together of the two basic groups, Neanderthalers and human beings, occurs until they got into a fight.